Hello, hello! What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Codeverse stream. My name is Adrian Rivera. I am so thankful that I am able to work with you guys today on stream. We're actually going to be building a game together. You and me, we will be on this journey, and it is going to be wonderful. Now, for those of you that have never been a part of a Codeverse stream before, let me just take a second, say welcome. I'm glad that you've made it. I'm glad that you are here. And you get to experience this journey with us. Over on the right-hand side, over there, you should be able to see our chat there. Basically, that is the way that you guys can kind of interact, not only with me in the stream, but also all of the other viewers that are here. It is moderated, by the way, parents, so if there was any concerns about anything, no need for that, but ways for you to interact, to ask any questions, that is your spot to do it. Also, if you need to go anywhere, if you're not going to be able to stay here the entire time, we're going to be here for about 30 minutes, you can always pause the stream, you can adjust the volume down below, and also if you miss this entirely, the video will be available, so you can always go back, watch it, 2, 3, 10 more times if you really need, to catch up or, to pick up some things you may have missed the first time. But for today, we are going to be working on a game that I've kind of brought out. It kind of has some of my favorite things to do while coding. Working a little bit with points, using the getX, getY method. So for those of you that haven't used that, a good place to start here. And we're using some random numbers in a game called Protect the Tower. Now, I did say this is going to be about 30 minutes. If you feel like that is just not enough time and you want a little bit more out of your experience, you guys actually have the opportunity to set up a trial class, which is a 50-minute class with a guide like myself or any of our wonderful Codeverse guides. But we're going to talk a little bit more about that later on in the stream. But for right now, let's get to coding, shall we? All right, let's get started here, shall we? So, right now, we are in the Codeverse dashboard. Really quickly, before we start, I want to go over all the different parts of the dashboard for some of our new creators. So, over here, we have our home screen. So, this is where we can stay updated on different projects of creators that we're following. So, you can actually kind of see different projects that other people are continuing to work on, updating, and actually play them and see how they're doing, see how they're progressing through their projects. Our next one is our projects tab. This will show all of our custom games and our missions that we are in the middle of working on. We also have the play tab. This will go over the community games. So any game that somebody makes that they submit into the community games and is approved will show up here. So this is actually a really good place to not only play some games, but get some new ideas for your own. Last but not least, we have our mission tab. So this shows us all of the different types of missions, all the way from level 1 to the beginner missions to level 5, the pro missions. Okay, so here's what I would like you guys to do. So we are going to work on a brand new project, and this is going to be called Protect the Tower. Now, if you'd like to change the name and make it something even cooler than that, you are more than welcome to. But what I would like all of you to do is create a new project with me, okay? So we're going to hit that big green button with the plus sign in the middle, and your screen should look something like this. Awesome. So for those of you that are new and maybe this is your first time, this is our project screen. It's split into two parts. As you can see over on the right side, you see this brighter side over here. That is the game screen. That is where our wonderful game is eventually going to show up. Over on the left side is our coding side, where all of our lines of code are going to be put. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to start by kind of figuring out what items we're going to bring onto the screen. So Protect the Tower, the whole idea is that we have a building on the bottom of the screen, probably a large platform underneath, and then aliens falling from the top of the screen. So they'll be falling down, and it'll be our goal anytime we tap on an alien. A projectile will be launched from our building up to the alien and making it explode. If any aliens kind of slip through and hit the large platform at the bottom, we lose. But if we destroy a certain amount of aliens, or basically last for a certain amount of time, we win. So we have to think, what items do we need at the beginning here? Probably the easiest way, you have to think about the ground. What do you have at the bottom of your screen? I think large platform, definitely a must-have for this one. So we definitely need a large platform. We're also going to need a building. A building is our tower, so that'll be 2 things. What else? You know what I think we could do is we could actually create these sound effects and the timer that we're going to need, because both those things will be really important. So we're going to use this library up here, and I'm going to bring these items, and I want you to try and do it with me if you can. Okay, so let's go to the library, and we are going to grab, let's see, I would like to grab a large platform. So we're going to go grab a large platform. I'm going to put it towards the bottom of our screen. Now, let's see, it's not going to be perfect, but I'm liking this area, and I'm going to kind of clean up some of these coordinates as well. I don't need to use decimals. My rule with decimals is I use them if it is absolutely necessary. That way I make it a little bit cleaner. So I usually move my object to a spot, and I clean up the, any decimals or anything if I need to, okay? So 5105, that looks like a pretty good spot to me. Now let's find a building. All right. So get that, and we're going to kind of put that right there. Ooh, that's a lot bigger than I thought. All right, maybe a little bit higher. Okay, so 50.3, I think 50 is fine. Instead of 79.9, why don't we just bump that up to 80? There we go. That looks pretty good. Okay, so now that we have both of these things, let's grab 2 objects that we actually won't see on the screen. We're going to grab sound effects. As you see, these var statements are popping up over on the left side, and then we will grab a timer. Now notice, we don't see a sound effect or a timer anywhere on the screen. These are objects that are going to be kind of in the background of our game. There's no coordinates here. As you see for the building, plenty of coordinates. Anytime I move this, those coordinates change with the object. But for those items, because they're not on the screen, we're actually not going to be seeing them at all. So we got the building, we got our large platform, and we have the timer and the sound effects. I'm moving them down mainly for my own organization. Do not feel like you need to do that. Okay, what else do we need? So I know there's a couple other things that I am going to import. I'm actually going to type these 2 out. I'm going to import game. Import game is a wonderful tool that we could use to change the background color. I think we're going to change the background color as well. And then I'm going to do import random. Now, random is super fun. We could do a lot of cool things with that. We'll talk a little bit more about random later on in the stream, okay? Perfect. Okay, so we got these things. Now, what I would like to do is we are going to kind of get the background looking the way that we want. So I'm wondering, what color background should I have? Okay, so basically I have 2 choices for the background. I could either have this happening during the day or at nighttime. So do we think it would look a little bit cooler if aliens are falling kind of with a darker background or a lighter background? So let's do this. If you think that it should be a daytime background, I would like you to put a 1 in the chat. If you think it should be a nighttime background, I would like you to put the number 2 in the chat. And I will let you guys kind of do that. Get a good answer in there. And I'm going to get the code set up. 1 for daytime, 2 for nighttime. And this is for the background color. So if you want, and now you do not need to do the same thing as I do. It's the same thing that I end up choosing. You know, if we do like a daytime, I'm thinking kind of a light blue, something like this. daytime. Almost kind of blends in with the colors of the building here. Again, 1 for daytime, 2 for nighttime. If we do something a little bit darker, I am thinking maybe a 10 here and a 30 there. Okay, guys, this is kind of cool though. Okay, I think we're gonna go with nighttime because I kind of fell in love with this. If you would like to use daytime, you could use that other number. I use 0, 70, 100 or something similar to that. If you want to use purple, gray, red, whatever color you want, you are free to do that as well. These are ideas that I'm giving you. You could always customize them if you'd like, okay? But thank you guys for participating. Awesome. Okay, we're going with the dark background. At night. Love the look. Okay. So we have these things. Now I'm going to start thinking of some methods that I want to set up. So what a method is, for those of you, a lot of you are going to know this. This is just review. Method is when you are giving instructions to an object, when you're telling an object to do something for you. Now, what I think I would like to do is I would like to say the building, we're going to change the physics of the building. So, what physics means is this object going to interact with other objects? Are other objects going to bounce off it or kind of pass through it like a ghost? And I want other objects to pass through it like a ghost. So we're going to do building.setPhysics false here. Okay, perfect. Now, let's see here. What should the first thing we do be? You know what? We should probably actually set up our aliens, right? Think that'd be a good idea? Get aliens falling from the sky? Okay, so we have this wonderful timer up here, and we are going to use it. Okay, 1 in the chat if you've used a timer before. 2 in the chat if you've never used a timer. I want to see how knowledgeable you guys are at using your timers. 1 if you have, 2 if you haven't. Okay, all right. Got a lot of people that have, some people that haven't. That is okay. It's a really good thing to use. It's a really good thing to learn how to use. So, timers, basically all it is you're saying something is happening after a certain amount of time. They're really easy to use with when statements, right? When statements, all of our games might have a when statement of some kind, right? So we're going to say when timer.ends. When timer.ends. So I tell the computer, hey, when this timer ends now, like something is going to happen now. I know a lot of you are like, but you haven't set the timer. Hold your horses. Wait a second. We're going to set the timer. Don't worry about it. All right. So we have our timer here. Now, what we're going to do. So remember how I said that I wanted aliens falling from the sky and I wanted, them to fall from random places? Well, that means I have to actually get a random number or use a random number. So, for those of you that have not used a random number, it is a type of numeric variable. Now, to yourself, probably the easiest thing to be like, I would like you to say numeric variable because it's very important for you to remember what a numeric variable is. It is a number variable. That's it. Numeric. Easy word for that is number. And basically, it is something that we create. I'm going to use the letter X here. And I'm going to say var X equals random dot number. Now, I'm going to tell my computer to pick a random number between 0 and 100. Every time this timer ends, when timer.ends, it'll choose a random number between 0 and 100. So say it chooses 57. Var X becomes 57. Kind of makes sense? Right as rain, clear as mud. All right. So I'm going to make a couple of random numbers. One is going to be for the position of our alien. It's this one right here. I'm going to make another one called time. Var time equals random dot number. Now I want you to think, why would I be making another random number? Why would I be making another random number? var time equals random number, and then one more, var fall equals random dot number. Okay, and this one's going to be 10, 25. Now you can see these are different random numbers with different ranges. What a range is basically the lowest number you could choose, the highest number you could choose. So 0 to 100, pretty wide range. 1 to 3, not that much of a range. 10 to 25, somewhere in the middle, okay? So now I'm going to use them for different things. So I'm going to use x, this x random number, for my alien. I'm going to say var alien equals, ooh, I didn't import an alien. Let's import an alien first. Can we all import an alien together? Go up to the top, and I would like you to type in import alien. Then we'll do var alien equals new alien. And we're actually going to type in the letter x, which is our random number. And then we're going to do -5. That negative is going to make sure that our alien actually spawns above that the top of our screen. So we won't see it spawn, hopefully. So everyone get that down. And again, if you feel a little bit behind, you could always pause. You could always go back at the video. You could watch it later. No worries whatsoever. Okay. All right, so now we're going to do a couple different things. Alien dot set, set fixed. And this time we're going to do false. So set fixed has to do with whether our alien is going to stay fixed in place or it's going to fall and be susceptible to gravity. This time I do want it to be susceptible to gravity. Alien.setFixed false. I'm also going to change the size. Alien.setSize. Typically aliens are pretty large at the beginning, so I'm going to make it 100 to make it a little bit smaller. And then what else do we need? Well, now that it's falling, I actually want to change how it is falling. So let's do this. Let's use a method that you might not have used before. Air resistance. Ooh, okay. Now, I want to know about this one. So, who has used air resistance? Tell me, number 1, use number 1 if you used air resistance. Number 2, if you have not used air resistance, you don't know what that means. And not accidentally used air resistance, because I know sometimes we're trying to set something in air resistance as well. The first one actually used it in a game. Okay, a lot of you haven't used it. Good. Some of you that have, I am proud of you. Awesome job. For those of you that do not know what set air resistance is, it's basically how quickly your character is falling through the air. So, say a feather has a very high air resistance because the feather kind of floats when you drop it from a very high place. But a brick, if you dropped a brick from a very high building and it falls just like straight down, it has very low air resistance. It doesn't resist against the air. It cuts through it. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to use our random number, fall. The reason why is because this is going to give our aliens different falling speeds. Okay, and then I think we're going to do one more thing. Let's do a color for the aliens. Now, for this one, I'm going to choose a random color here. Let's do maybe kind of like a darker green. And then we're going to test it out. But before I test it out, I actually have to set the timer, don't I? Yep, I got to set the timer. So we're going to do timer.set timeout. And let's do 1 for right now. So after 1 second, we'll get 1 alien. Ooh, I like this darker color. Is that a little bit too close to our normal alien? No, I think it's pretty good. Alien touchdown. I think that's a good size. But we only have 1 alien. Why do we only have 1 alien? Shouldn't this be repeating? No, not yet. Because we have to repeat our timer. Now you're going to say, now, Mr. Andres, how do we repeat the timer? I will tell you, stream. So the way that we're going to do that is inside the when statement, we're going to do another timer.set timeout. And why we're going to do that is because every time the timer ends, it'll actually reset itself so that we won't have to manually do it again. So this is actually why I used that random number time earlier, because it's going to pick a number 1 through 3. So sometimes we'll get an alien every 1 second. Sometimes we'll get an alien every 3 seconds. Every 2 seconds, it'll be random. So now, if I press run, we are going to get alien right there. We have to wait a few seconds and then another alien here. And then we're going to wait seconds and alien there. And they're all falling kind of faster. It's starting to look like an alien invasion. This is exactly what I pictured in my dreams. I'm kidding. I don't dream about code. Or do I? Okay. That looks pretty good. So, now, let's take a little bit. Make sure, for those of you that are with me, make sure it's looking somewhat similar to this. If you want to customize, again, for those of you that feel confident, that are ahead, that are like, oh, I kind of see where this is going, feel free to customize or change anything I'm doing here. I want you guys to make this your own. Or, if you feel like you have any questions, you keep those questions, kind of click save them into your mind, because you could always bring them to a guide. We have trials. We'll talk a little bit about that at the end of the stream. We can show you how to customize this mission even more, okay? Awesome. Okay, let's keep it going. All right, so now we have our alien that's falling from the top. Now, what we're going to do here is we actually have to say what happens when the alien hits the bottom here. Because we have the alien here. What happens when the alien hits the large platform? We lose, right? Something says we lose. So, here's what I'm going to do. I need something to actually tell us that we lost the game. So I am going to grab a label. This label, be right in the middle of the screen. Let's see. Oh, I don't want it there. Let's grab it. For anyone that doesn't know how to drag lines, you take the line that you'd like to move. You click and hold. Click and hold. Do not move. And you're going to see it pop out like a puzzle piece. Then you can move it wherever you'd like. I'm going to move it up to our other lines here. And let's make it center. We're going to say 50-45. That is perfect. Beautiful. And right now I don't want it to say anything. So down here, I'm going to say label.set text. And then I'm going to put nothing in here, just the quotation marks. Then it looks like it disappeared. Who knew? That's a nice little trick, right? For those of y'all that don't know that trick, I want you to memorize, click save into your mind. That is something that you could do. Instead of doing a label.hide, which then you have to do a label.show, and then you have to bring it back, this is a really good way to get rid of a label that you don't want quite yet. All right, so let's say down here, we're going to go back down here. We're going to do something called a nested when statement. Now, a nested when statement is a when statement inside another statement of some kind. So, when alien collides with large platform, when it hits the ground, something has to happen. So, I want a couple things to happen here. First, building explode. Building.explode. Easy, right? You lose. The building explodes. They've reached the ground. You've lost the game. That's probably the easiest thing to do. Let's set up our label. Label.set text. We're actually going to tell it to say something. You lose.
Oh, no.
There we go. Okay. Now, what else could we do? Oh, maybe we could use our sound effects here. Sound effects dot. Let's do play voice. All right. Let's see. We have 3 voices. Let's do play voice 1, and we're gonna find. Let's see what it says when it says mission failed. So we're gonna let an alien hit the ground. We're gonna see it's gonna say mission failed.
Mission failed.
Ooh. That's pretty good. I like that one. Now, what if we do the same thing, but voice 3? What does that sound like? Does voice 3 not have a mission failed? Ooh. Okay, this one has different stuff. We got a game over. Sudden death. Let's see what it says when it says you lose. And again, we're testing this out.
You lose.
Ooh. That's like a deep, like, you lose. I like that. I'm going to go with that one. Okay. So, you lose. I'm going to say the large platform explodes. I'm only doing this. Actually, remove. I'm only doing this so it doesn't trigger this sound multiple times. And then let us do something fun. We're going to do game.circle fade out. And let's do 5 seconds. So, once one of these aliens hits the ground, it's going to say,
you lose.
And then it's going to slowly fade out. I like the you lose, the super low you lose. We have the fade out. And I'm going to do it over 3 seconds instead of 5. Okay. So now that we have that, we have a way to lose the game. But we don't have a way to win. So, in order to get a way to win, I'm going to grab my projectile. This thing I'm going to launch at the aliens. And it'll be a ball. Just a simple ball object. And I'm going to make another when statement. And I'm basically going to say, when. Let's do when alien dot tapped. Alien dot tapped. Now, the really cool thing is when you're doing this, you have to give your computer all of the knowledge of where the alien is at that time. So we get to use one of my favorite lines. We're going to do another var x, and instead we're going to do alien dot get x. This code gets the x coordinate of the alien wherever it is at that time. Then we're going to do the same thing with the y. var alien dot get y. So now anytime I tap on the alien, these two lines will actually get the coordinates for where the alien is. Now, we'll get a ball object. Var ball equals new ball. And we're going to get it to spawn 5075. That'll be kind of in the building, kind of around where the building is. And we're going to say ball dot move to x. We're going to do x and then 0.5 in half of a second. We're going to do ball dot move to y, y, and then 0.5. So half a second, it's going to move to its target. It's going to intercept. Yeah, awesome. Now, let's actually add something here because we do want it to disappear after a little bit. We will use the delay. Do delay. Let's do 0.2 and then dot remove. This is so that it'll actually disappear off the screen. And let's add some more sound effects, shall we? And then we'll do play. Let's do impact sound. I like impact sounds a lot. Again, this is something that you could change. I'm going to do punch heavy run. I want a thump when this happens. So we'll do a thump there. And now we're going to make another when statement right underneath. When ball. Ooh, spelling. Help. Collides with alien. What should happen to the alien, right? What do you think should happen to the alien? Well, we know the alien should explode, right? Alien dot explode. We also think the ball should probably explode, right? So we'll do ball dot explode. What else? Anything else happen? Maybe another sound effect here. Sound effect dot. Let's do play explosion sound. There's a lot of different explosion sounds. I'm going to use some of the lower used ones. I'm going to use low frequency. I don't see a lot of students using low frequency. Let's see how it sounds. All right. So anytime I click on one, ooh, it's like happening really high up. You hear that thump. Nice. Okay. Now we have our defense system up and running. Cool. Now we have a way to actually get rid of the aliens, extend the game a little bit. Now, how do we end the game? We don't have a way to end the game necessarily, or a way to keep track of our score. But this looks pretty good. We have a functional game right now, right? Yeah, we have a functional game. Everything's working as intended. But we have to have a way to win the game as well, right? How are we going to do this? Let us add a score here. Let's add a score. I think that'll really help us. So, to add a score, we're going to need a place to be able to see the score. So we're going to go back, and we're going to get another label here. We're going to put it somewhere up there. Oh, again, we're going to grab this. We're going to drag it up all the way here. And instead of label 1, I'm going to name this score. This new label. Let's make this even. We're going to do 15 and then 5. Nice. Okay. So our score, let's also do this. Var points equals 0. We're making a numeric variable there. Now we'll scroll down a little bit. And then we're going to say score dot set text. I'm going to type in, let's do score. And then we'll do these squiggly brackets here. These are on the top right of your keyboard, typically. Now, here, now this size, a little bit too big. So we're going to say score dot set font size. Let's do 15. A little too small. 25. That works. Okay. Awesome. So now we have a score at the top right of our screen. This should track what it looks like. In fact, hold on. Let me change. I'm going to change the font as well because I think it's a little basic of a font. I want a fancy font. Let's do Londrina. That looks a little bit more fun. And it stands out. Yeah, okay, we're going to go with that. Okay, so we have that. Now, basically what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit to what we've made already. So our alien that explodes, we're going to add to the fact that we get points. Points equals points plus 1. We're adding 1 for every time we hit an alien. And then we update our label called score.
Ooh.
And we'll do points, or excuse me, score, and then points. So now, every time we do this, we're going to do a quick check. It'll be 1, 2, 3. Nice. Okay. Now there's some things we can do with this. We can either keep going until we lose, which could probably be a long time, depending on how this is played, or we could set a score limit for ourselves. For the purposes of this stream, I think we're going to set a score limit, but this is something that we could always change as well. Okay. So let's say, right now, we are going to do, let's do an if statement here. Let's do a conditional, shall we? And we're going to do if points is 25. Then we're going to say our timer stops. And then we're going to say sound effects. Play, what is it, voice 3 that we're using? Voice 3.
Yeah.
Oh, let's get the flawless victory. Yep. Let's get it. So 25. And again, this is a test. Probably should have made it just a little bit lower. But every time I'm going to make it a little bit lower so it's not nearly as long. Because I want to hear that sweet flawless victory. Which is probably one of those things that most of the creators in chat probably don't know what video game that is actually from. It's
Flawless victory.
Awesome. All right, really quickly, if anyone knows what game franchise that is from, you can put it down in the chat. I'm not going to say it. But the real OGs know. The real OGs know. Okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. I'm going to change it back to 25 so it's a little bit longer, but for the sake of this, I think that's pretty good. Cleaning up a little bit, I think that is about it. Do we need anything else? Now, again, I'm going to emphasize this because it's something I always emphasize with all my students. You are always allowed to change, customize, make better, get rid of things in any type of game that we make. That is up to you. If you want to learn how to customize this a little bit more, maybe instead of doing points, you could do a leaderboard, different things like that. I would suggest getting or taking a trial with fantastic guides like myself or any other of the wonderful guides here at Codeverse, and we could show you how to really take this game to the next level. But for right now, I think we will stop here. I think this game looks fantastic. I love the things that we did with the sound effects, how we use the timers and the random numbers. And, you really can't go wrong by ending the game with flawless victory. Like, it's just so good. It's just so good. All right, so we're going to close out right here. And really quickly, we're going to take you to basically show the rents, the parents, where you guys could sign up for a free trial. So, see ya in a sec. Now, I know it is the end of our time, and I had so much time coding with you. But again, if you didn't feel like that 30 minutes was enough, and you want, a bunch more time, talking 50 minutes with an expert guide, you want to stick around for this. So let's talk a little bit about how to book your free trial class. So if you want to do that, parents, there are a couple different ways that you could go about it. So there should be a banner somewhere underneath me that will actually lead you to be an easy way for you to book your trial, or after the stream is over, right where my face is, there will be a way to click on that and start your trial. Otherwise, you could do that from your portal here. So if you could see right up here over on the right side, if you want to book a free class, again, 50 minutes, with a guide like myself, you're going to hit this book a free class. You're going to choose your user, or you could add a user if they're not already on your account. So I'm going to choose Jane here. And then you can actually choose what day and time you would like the trial to be at. So you can see we have a lot of availability. A guide will be paired with you. So this is a great way to sign your trial. And again, we really hope to see you there. Again, it was so much fun being able to code with you guys. If you want to customize your game, you could bring it to your trial, and we could continue to work on it there as well. On that, thank you so much. See you next time.